Hello, what we're going to be covering in this video is how we can go ahead and use Python's tkinter module to create the following GUI. So what the user is going to do is they're going to go ahead and enter a distance in kilograms, and then what'll get displayed is converted to miles over here in a label. So what we're going to have is we're going to have a label right here, an entry point right here, a couple labels. The label we can't see now will actually display the calculation, and then we're going to have a convert button and a quit button. So let's go ahead and take a look at that program and see what it looks like. So again, we import our tkinter module, then we're creating a class called KiloConverterUI, and then within our init function for that UI, we're going to first create a main window. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set the title of the main window to Kilo Converter. And then the next step, we're going to go ahead and set the dimensions of our window. So we're going to specify a window 300 by 100 pixels. The next thing we're going to do, if we go ahead and look back at our pictures, there's going to be three different frames that we're going to create. The first one's going to hold this information. The second frame will hold the information down below. And the third frame will hold our convert and quit buttons. So if we go ahead and so we've created our top frame, our mid frame, and our bottom frame. So after we've done that, then what we're going to do is we're going to create the widgets for the top frame. So that's the first widget's just going to be an label where the user's going to enter, or where we're going to display enter a distance in kilometers. And then the second item or widget is going to be an entry widget. And what we're going to do is that's where the user's going to input the number of kilometers that they want to convert to miles. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pack the top frame widgets so they appear side by side, the prompt label, and then our kilo entry widget. Then the next step is to create the widgets for our middle frame. So the first widget is going to be a label. And what that's going to show is just the text converted to miles. And the other thing that I forgot to mention too, basically each one of our widgets are getting, will be displayed in our top frame. That's why we specified the top frame up above. The next widgets will get displayed in our mid frame. So the first one we're going to convert to miles. Then what we need to do next is we need a string var object to associate with an output label. So we're going to use the object set method to store a string of blank characters. So we're going to go ahead and call the tkinter the string var, and then we're going to set self.value as our variable that we're going to hold those blank characters in. And then what we need to create a label and associate it with our string var object. Any value stored in the string var object will automatically be displayed in the label. So in our mid frame, which is where our this next label will appear, the number of miles that have been converted, and then our text variable. So this is just the variable that will display the value that's been set to self.value. So we're going to go ahead after that and pack the middle frames widgets. Again, they'll be packed side to side. The description label will appear first, and then our miles label will appear second. The next thing we need to do is we need to create our button widgets for the bottom frame. So our first button widget, it'll be displayed in the bottom frame. The text on the button will be convert, and the command, what we're going to be calling is our self.convert function down below. So that's going to be our callback function. And then the second button is going to be our quit button. Again, it will be displayed in the bottom frame. The text on the button will be quit. And then what we need to do is call a destroy method on our main window, which will go ahead and basically close the window for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to pack the buttons. I've added the pad X. So basically what that'll do, it'll place our calc button, and then it'll add a padding of 15 pixels, and then it will go ahead and place our quit button next to it. And then what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've added a pad Y, and basically what that does is I'm going to pack my frames, and I want 5 pixels between each one of the frames so that they're not scrunched together. And then finally, we need to call our tk_enter main loop. So in our convert or callback function, basically we're going to get the value entered by the user into the kilo entry widget. So we'll call the get function on our entry object, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and convert that to a float, and then after that we're going to convert the kilometers entered by the user by the 0.6214, which is a conversion factor, to miles, and then we're going to convert miles to a string and store it in our string var object. This will automatically update our miles label widget. So all we need to do is we need to call our set method on our value, specifying the number of miles, and that will go ahead and convert it to a string, and it should display in our miles label widget. And then finally, what we need to do is we need to create an instance of the kilo converter GUI class, which will, once that instance is created, it'll go ahead and display our GUI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and call this from the command line again. So I'll just enter my command, and then what I need to do is I need to cd to my module 10 where my kilo converter file program is located. And then after I CD'd there, I need to go ahead and call my executable. So again, what that is that first item is the path to my Python executable function, my python.exe file, and then after that I specify the Python program that I wanted to run. So I will go ahead and click enter, and what it comes up with is our nice little GUI, our kilo converter GUI. So what I'm going to do is I'll just click in my entry point, enter 1000, and then go ahead and click on my convert button. And basically what that does is it displays the conversion. 1,000 kilometers is 621.4 miles. And then if I want to go ahead and quit the program, I can just go ahead and click on the quit button. If we wanted to add some padding between our label and our entry point and our two labels down below, you could always go ahead and use the pad X option and specify the number of pixels you want it to be padded. So I will just go ahead, click on quit, and that's all I wanted to go ahead and cover in this video. So we will talk to you next time.